everyone, I want to share with you my recipe for making a gelatine slab to do printing on. It's a great lot of fun to do gelatine printing, but the board plates are very expensive. And with this cheap recipe, you're going to have a plate that you can really keep in the cupboard for as long as you like. If it gets broken or cracked, you just melt it down and you can have it in whatever shape and size you like. To make this plate, you're going to need gelatine powder, normal cooking gelatine, high percentage alcohol that you get at the local hardware shop, glycerine, which you can buy from the local pharmacy, water, a water bath, and a tray or mold to pour the gelatine into. The great thing about making your own plate is that you can then decide what size you want depending on your project, and any kind of tray is suitable depending what you need. I like to use for smaller projects a Tupperware container because I've also got a storage space afterwards for it. The first thing you need to do is to measure the volume of your container, and I do this by either pouring the water, as I'm doing here with the jug, into the container. That was 150 milliliters, or else pour the water into the container and then into the measuring jug to find out what the volume is. This is 150 milliliters. I'm going to be doing a plate on the left and the right side of the container, so I'm going to have a total volume of 300 milliliters. I've worked out that I need about 20 grams of gelatine powder per 100 milliliters of total volume. So in this case, with 300 milliliters being my total volume, I'm going to use approximately 60 grams of gelatine powder. You now need to measure out a quarter of your total volume in alcohol and a quarter in glycerine. In this case, I've used 75 milliliters of glycerine and 75 milliliters of alcohol, giving me half of my volume of 150 milliliters. The other half of the volume, I'll just take 150 milliliters of water. Let's get cooking. Using a water bath, either in pot form or one bowl in another bowl with hot water in between, I pour the powder into the pot and add my water and stir it up a bit. Don't worry too much if it gets lumpy. We're going to get rid of those in a few minutes. Just let it stand for a while. I add my alcohol to the glycerine and mix it up. And then add it to my gelatine mixture. It's quite clumpy and lumpy, but we're going to put it on the hot plate in a moment and that'll get rid of any lumps. Allow the gelatine to heat up. You'll see that it melts and becomes more and more liquid and the lumps slowly disappear. Once all the lumps are gone and the gelatine is nice and liquid, take it off the hot plate, turn off the hot plate, and we're going to get ready to pour it into the mold. Sometimes there are lots of air bubbles in the gelatine mixture, and this can be really difficult when making the plate. So I've worked out a way by using a freezer bag in a jug. I pour the mixture into the freezer bag and all the bubbles will collect on the sides of the bag. It's especially useful if you can't get rid of some lumps or if there's some blobs of paint left over when you remelt a slab down. I cut off a corner of the plastic bag and will use this then as a sort of spout to pour the gelatine into the mold. It's especially useful when you've got more than one mold because you can stop and go as much as you like. and any air bubbles will now collect on the sides of the plastic bag, and then I can just observe and watch where they are and just stop pouring before all the air bubbles come out of the little hole. And that's the 2 slabs made. Put it aside for a few hours. I prefer to leave it overnight, and there you go. If I need to, I can take some air bubbles off the surface of the gelatine with a piece of paper. So here we go. 6 hours later, the gelatine has set and is quite firm. And all I need to do is put my finger carefully underneath it and pull it out. And there's your gelatine plate. With time it tends to get a bit darker in color because it takes on some of the paint that you're using, but you can just melt it down wherever you need to and have your new plate ready. Nice and fresh and ready to begin.